Okay, so this is my video about the endocrine system. So there are a few primary reproductive glands within the endocrine system. The first one being the hypothalamus, which releases a releasing hormone. The second being the pituitary gland, which releases a stimulating hormone. Ovaries, the uterus, placenta, and the pineal gland. Hormones are classified by source, biochemical reaction, and mode of action. Their source can include a gland or an organ. The biochemical classification can be protein, steroids, and prostaglandins. And then the mode of action can be releasing, inhibiting, and stimulation. The characteristics of a hormone include act in minutes, have short half-lives, bind to specific receptors, regulate intracellular biochemical reactions, and then there are different types of hormones which we kind of touched on briefly, like the releasing hormone, which comes from the hypothalamus, the stimulating hormone, which comes from the pituitary gland, and then the steroid hormone, which comes from target cells. So I'm going to kind of go through two different diagrams to kind of go over this material. So first, we have the hypothalamus. Which releases a releasing hormone. Now, sometimes when this hormone is released, the uterus or the ovary all the way down here, I'm just going to label it. They'll kind of have a feedback, and they might say, no, don't release this releasing hormone. And sometimes they might say, go ahead and release the hormone. So the releasing hormone travels to the pituitary gland. And then the pituitary gland releases a stimulating hormone. The stimulating hormone then travels to the ovary. And then the ovary release is estrogen and progesterone. And then we can kind of tie this all back into the estrogen video, which I filmed earlier, and then the videos that we filmed a few weeks ago about the other things, the ovary, that sort of thing. So this just kind of shows the releasing hormones and where they're going, and how the ovary or other reproductive glands or organs can stop this releasing hormone. I wanted to show you another diagram that we kind of talked about in class about the pancreas and the insulin, just because it talks about the endocrine hormones and that sort of thing, and I think it kind of covers the endocrine system. So here we have our pancreas. inside we have our insulin. The insulin then gets released into the blood. And because the insulin travels through the blood, it's known as an endocrine hormone. So just label this as the blood. And this insulin is traveling to a target tissue. So for this instance, we're just going to say it's traveling to a liver cell. And then this liver cell has like a specific binding receptor. So our insulin binds here. And then it stimulates a glucose transporter over here to let it in. The pancreas actually secretes enzymes into the GI tract. And then, yeah, so this just kind of shows how the insulin goes through the blood and it travels to a liver cell and how it has a specific receptor.